Hi everybody, welcome to another FYI Friday. My name is Marianne Knowles. I'm with the Jameson team of Likely Real Estate. Today we're talking about CDD fees, also known as Community District Development Fees. In order to understand what this is, we need to go back to the developer. When a developer decides to create a new neighborhood or a new community, they have to build infrastructures, which are basically streets and roadways that will connect this new development to the outside world. The developer will obtain a bond from the county commissioner, and this bond is given well before the community development begins. Now, an infrastructure is basically more than one thing. It's not only streets and roadways, but it's also sidewalks, utilities, power supplies, retention ponds, drainage, all the things that you really don't think of that takes to develop a community. Now, along with the infrastructure, they're also going to start building the amenities for residents to enjoy. Things like baseball fields, golf courses, pools, kayak launches, and playgrounds for kids. The bond is then passed on from the developer to the residents, and the residents pay these fees. The bond usually lasts between 20 and 30 years. Does this mean that when the bond is paid off that residents no longer have to pay? Well, no, because CDD fees are composed of two things. The first is the bond itself, and the second is the maintenance to take care of all of these beautiful amenities that are built for you and for your enjoyment. So even though the bond may be paid off, you will still be paying the upkeeping and the maintenance of all of these amenities. Now, if you recall from last Friday's FYI video, we spoke about Homeowners Association. So now you're probably wondering, well, what is the difference between HOA fees and CDD fees? It could be confusing, but if you can remember, the main goal of an HOA is to have all the homes abide by the rules and to have them all conform in order to keep the value of the property high. The fees for HOAs are paid either monthly, quarterly, or annually, and they're paid in a separate bill. CDD fees are included in your annual property taxes, and you can find the CDD fees in the non-ad valorem section. It's labeled ComDev, short for Community Development. And you will find that once the bond section is paid off, you'll see a decrease in the property taxes. What is the cost of a CDD fee? Well, it all depends on the size of the community and the amount of amenities it has to offer. If you're living in a community that has volleyball courts, basketball courts, golf courses, and the list can go on, and it's a new development, then chances are you will have CDD fees that could be anywhere between $1,000 a year to $4,000 a year. Again, I do want to stress that not all neighborhoods have to pay HOA fees or CDD fees. Some neighborhoods don't have to pay either, and I happen to live in one of those neighborhoods. If you watched the second segment of my Tarpon Springs video, the latter part of all of those photos is my neighborhood. So people are still taking care of their property, they still care about the value of their home, they just don't have rules to follow or fees to pay. Now you're probably thinking, well, what if I move into a community and I have to pay both CDD and HOA fees? Yes, if you're living in a new development, then chances are you will have both, but they tend to balance off. If you live in a community with both CDD fees and HOA fees, the HOA fees are usually much lower because the CDD fee, again, also takes care of maintenance. So it kind of balances itself out. If you live in a community without CDD fees, then chances are your HOA fee will be higher because they're taking care of the rules and the regulations and, again, the maintenance. So please, to sum it all up, make sure if you're interested in pursuing a community, no matter where it is, always do your due diligence, read all the rules and regulations, and don't think that every community is the same. They all have their different fees, they all have their different rules, and they all have different policies to follow. So again, do your research, speak to your agent, and speak to the association. So that's it, everybody. This concludes our video of CDD fees. It could be a little confusing, so if you have any questions, please feel free to reach out to me, and I'm happy to answer any questions. Please feel free to subscribe to my YouTube channel. You can find me at Knowles Knows Tampa Bay. I'm also on Facebook and Instagram. We will see you next Friday for another FYI Friday. Take care.